Okay, I'm sorry. As soon as she starts watching, I'll go ahead and put her back in on the video. Now I can tell my picture is not straight in the background. Sugar knocked it down a couple of days ago, and I did not put it back up straight. Uh, yes, Nick. I've been feeling the old school lately for some reason. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. I did not know I was sideways.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, I was sideways too, but I
Okay.
didn't know how it looked.
Okay, yeah. I think we're up right now. I'm gonna go back and look at the Facebook page, but I think it's right. So you can go ahead. I do apologize for that.
That's okay. My name is Deandra Smith. I go by D Smith. And for some of you guys that are follow me on Facebook, I do a financial education video on Sundays about credit, debt elimination, things like that. I'm a part of a learning community that teaches us how to increase our cash flow. And of course, credit, building your credit is one of those things that I mainly focus on. So, today, I'm just going to give you the 5 parts of the credit report, give you some facts, and then give you some tips. And then we will let Kenyatta tell her story, what she has done a little bit to fix her credit, and then answer any questions that you guys may have. So, y'all ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so if you don't know that your credit report is made of 5 parts that they look at. Number one is the payment history, which is 35% of your credit score. Number two is your credit utilization, which is 30%. Then we have your credit history, which is 15% of your score. Then you have your new credit, which is 10%. And then your credit mix, which is 10%. And I'm going to just give you some pointers of what each one of those are later, and then give you some tips of how to fix each one. First, I want to give you some facts about credit and how it affects us in America. And I found these stats basically with my learning community. So, 68 million people have bad credit in the world. 68,
That's a
yes,
lot.
wow, that's a whole lot, right? So that this is a need. 40 million of people have an error on their credit report and may not even know it because some people don't care, right?
Right.
And so in 2018, $3 billion was made in this industry about credit. 3 billion. So this is not one of those industries that is not failing. It's making a lot of money because we got a lot of people with bad credit. 68 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so those that do pay attention to their credit report, 79% of those people have fixed an error on their credit report. They disputed it and they were successfully, which were good. So um, everyone wants good credit. Why? Because we want to be able to purchase a home. We want to be able to buy our car with a decent interest rate. Because if you don't have it, you're paying more than what it's worth, right? So that's more money coming out of your pocket. And we all want to have an increase of cash flow so we'll be able to do the things that we need to do and, live how we want to live.
Exactly.
So I found this interesting as well. We have scores by the age. So what that means is 70-year-old or plus, average person credit score is 730.
Okay.
Now these are just average figures. So not saying that somebody my age or your age cannot have a 730 because I have business partners that have 800, but we're just doing an average.
Okay.
Um, so 59 59 to 69 is 700. Then you have 35 to 49 is 655. 21 to 34, our average is 634. And 20-year-olds or less, their score is 631. So it looks like based on these scores by age, the older you get, the greater your credit score is. In some cases, a lot of people fit in that category. But hey, hopefully after today, you guys will not be like that. If you're, in between, you'll get these tips and try to help yourself out, right? And so they always say income reflects your scores. Because, sometimes jobs look at your credit score as well. So that can stop you from getting a job that you want because some companies do a background, on your credit score. And I don't think that's right, but that's the way some companies do. And so let's look at the income rate of how an average credit score affects you. If you make $30,000 or less, your average credit score more likely will be 590. And that's not, that's bad credit right there. Anytime you're in the 500s, that's just bad. 30,001 to 49,999, your average score is 643. And then if you're fit between, you make the amount between 50,000 to almost 75,000, then your average score is 737. Again, this is just the average score. Because I can say, an example with me falling in here, my credit score is not a 643, but some people are. So it always saying poor credit is often the result of lack of income. And that may be true because if you look at it, if you don't make a lot, you don't have enough left over to pay off your debt. So the things that is affecting your credit score, you don't have enough money to pay that down. So you further, getting in debt and your credit score never changes. So if you make more money and you know how to budget it, then you can. Oh, and by the way, Kenyatta, couponing. I love that girl. I seen it early.
I'm trying to get it together over here.
Hey, every little thing helps. I like that. So let's look at a typical good credit score. In it's all ranges. So the best credit score they say is between 800 and 850. Then you have excellent credit, which is 750, between 750 and 799. And then your good credit is 700 to 749. Fair credit is 650 to 699. Then poor credit is 600 to 649. And then the bad credit is 300 to 599. Okay. So for a tip there, you have an average of 550 points to build up your credit score. So even if you have that 300 to 599 bad, you have 550 points to get to where you need to get. And it's a formula and all that. That's too much details, but just letting you know, it's points to get you to where you need to get and things like that. So I'm gonna give you some tips if you want me to go back and just I'm gonna tell you about the payment history, each one of them, and then give you a tip to how to fix them. Okay. So again, like I said, everything is circled around those 5 parts of your credit report. So payment history, we're looking at how well do you pay your bills, right? And so with that being said, you want to make sure that you pay your bills on time, of course. And some creditors look at, do you pay it on time? They give you certain months and days of periods throughout the year, the 30, the 60, the 90, 180 days. And if you ever pulled your credit report, then you'll be able to look at those different types and how they analyze your credit score. And also, I can give you a tip about you can get your free credit report every year. And so that's a way that you can keep up what's going on your credit report, who's doing what, and things like that. If you didn't know this, it doesn't matter if you pulled it, I would say like this month in August. Then you can pull it again in January. And that'll be your one free year right there. And I'm gonna give you the website. And you probably already know this, but I'm gonna just put it out there for you, making sure I get it right.
I
Put my
appreciate you for sharing that. Because I
Oh
think I
yeah.
know, but I'm 100% if it's right. I haven't pulled it in a while, so I don't want to get
And,
the wrong thing, wrong information.
and and you know what? And that's great. You definitely need to make sure you pull it every year because sometimes things are on your credit report you didn't even know was on there.
Yes.
And for me, my names were jacked up. So you can dispute your name as well.
Yeah.
People may not know that, but yeah, of course, you can dispute your name, your addresses, things like that, and sometimes your social security number.
Oh.
Yeah. Where is it? Because I always want to get it up. I met with someone and I gave her the wrong.
I don't want to say what I think it is. Let me look at my laptop because I don't want to be wrong.
I want to say it's the annualreport.com.
Okay.
But I think it's freeannualreport.com.
Yes, and some of them are not free. You can get it for free, so I don't believe in
Oh,
paying
yeah.
for anything you don't have to pay for.
Absolutely. The only thing about it is you just won't get your credit score.
Okay.
But you can if you have like a Discovery credit card or a mortgage or something like that, you will get your FICO credit score for free anyway, and that's what's going to help you. You don't even need to really get it. But yes, it is the annual credit report. That's what it is. Yes. Annualcreditreport.com.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay.
You're welcome. So the first one again, I said, is the payment history. That's how you pay your bills. That's what they look at. They want to know if you are the type of person that they can borrow from you. And also listed on your credit reports is they report things like your credit cards, retail accounts, installment loans, mortgages, bankruptcies, lawsuit, tax liens, and child support is even put on your credit report.
Yes, it is.
So they just want to show that you can make a one-time payment on time for your history. Now, if you can't pay your bills, here's the tip. Here's the good tip, the strategy that you can use. Don't try to juggle your bills. We always trying to, rob from Peter to pay Paul, that type of thing. And that's what gets you in trouble because it catches up with you and then you're stuck in a situation that, you can't pay it. So what you want to do is decide which bill you want to pay. And then you pay everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Don't be pressured about any bill collectors because guess what? You can dispute that later to get that on off. So just think about, hey, stick to what you're going to do. I know people probably heard of Dave Ramsey type of thing. Find somebody that can educate you and have a system. I've also have a debt elimination system where I can sit down with you and you give me all your bills. We put it in the system and it tells you how you can pay your bills off like the snowball effect, like Dave Ramsey. Also, I can help you find that extra money that you think you may not have because we all have extra money. We just don't know it. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, come here, baby. Sorry, I got a 2 and a 4-year-old. I'm by myself tonight. So.
That's all right. Hey, they need some entertainment.
I know. Nika kids usually watch them for me, but Justin sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you keep talking. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. So, all right, that's the tip for your credit history. And then your second one is the credit utilization. So, your credit utilization is the debt you owe divided by the credit extended. So they want to look.
You talking about my equipment I got set up? I'm sorry.
Yes, he's really talkative.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that this credit utilization is it refers just to the amount of credit you have compared to the amount of credit that has been extended to you by a lender. So that's what that means. So Um, with this right here on your credit utilization, your tip on here is you want to use like one of your credit cards like a debit card. So what that looks like, if you get a credit card, and I know some people are say, hey, I don't even want to fool with it, but a quick way to build your credit score up is to get a credit card. Sometimes if your utilization is up and high, you want to ask for increase. And if you get an increase, then that would lower that as well. And then you want to put something small on it, like if you have something monthly, like a Netflix or Hulu, something like that. Or some people use it as a gas card, pay for your gas each month, but just make sure you pay it off. So if you're going to do something weekly, you need to pay it off weekly, or you'll do it monthly and pay it off monthly. But just remember to put what you want to put on there is something that is you have in your bank, because you're using it as a debit card. That means you'll have the money to pay it off. And so with the credit cards, some people just get so excited that if you get approved for $10,000, that doesn't mean you have to go spend $10,000 worth of something. All right. So the third one is your credit history. Some people don't have credit history at all. So I have a 23-year-old, and when he graduated from school, and I didn't know this, so this is something I'm gonna share with you guys. He didn't have any history, so I tried to set him up a Credit Karma account, and he was not found. So I suggest that he go to our bank and get a secure credit card, and that's like them borrowing, taking money, put something on there that he pays monthly, and that builds his stuff up. So like in 2 or 3 months, his credit score went up to over 700. So that's a good way for someone that doesn't have credit history. So two, you can also, and so pump your brakes. Don't be like, oh, but you can ask a friend or a relative to be added to their account, especially if they got good history. That doesn't mean that you're going to get a credit card from them. You can just be an authorized user without that card, and you just inheriting that good credit history. Right. So that's helping you build your credit history as well. So I think that's a good idea. But some people like, no, that ain't what I want to do. But hey, that is, I'm telling you, it is good. Some of us may not know someone, so then that means the first option of going to your bank and try to get a secure credit card. And sometimes it could just be for $200, which is good because you want to build your credit up quick, and that's a quick way to do it. And the next one is the new credit. So new credit is good as well to shoot your credit score up. Again, if you have a high utilization, you can apply for a new credit card, and that'll balance that out as well. And you can do that with a department store. Say you like to go to Walmart all the time, or Home Depot, or wherever you shop the most, and go there. If you go to JCPenney's, and you like it when the school sales and stuff for the kids, that'll be something that you can use, to boost up if you have new credit. Now, if your score is like bad, then you may want to do a secure card and wait till it build up. But it's still good to have new credit, because that's 10% of your credit, and they look at that. And the credit mixture. So what that means is you have two types of things that a creditor is looking for on your credit report, and it's installment debt and revolving debt. So installment debt, what that means is this is a fixed payment, and it's a fixed amount every time, every month. So you're paying it. You don't want to pay installments debt too quickly, because if you do, you pay them before the length of the life of the loan, it will drop your credit score. And installment payments are your like mortgage payment or your car loan. Who is it?
I don't know. This has been crazy, y'all. I'm so sorry. Talking.
Okay. So those are the two things that when I refer to installment debt is your car loan and your mortgage loan. So again, you don't want to pay those off too quickly because it's not going to increase your FICO score. Hey, boo!
Like, who is this knocking at my door? Okay.
So,
My pantry is ice refrigerator. Okay, I'm sorry.
that's okay. And then the second credit mixture is your revolving debt. And revolving debt is any type of payment you make where the amount you owe each month goes up and down. It fluctuates. It goes up and down, and the balance is considered. So examples of this in revolving debt is like credit cards, um, other lines of credit you may open up. You know, some people may go to a furniture store and open that up. So those are revolving debt. So those are the two things you want to have as your credit mixture on your credit report. It's good. It's only 10%. So just take in mind if you are the type that have all these uh, revolving debt like store credit cards, you may want to back off from that and try to get your stuff built up so you can get a car loan or a mortgage loan if that's what your goal is. And then the last one is is your, well, that was the last one, the credit mixture. It was the last one.
Okay.
So that's what I have. I hope everybody got some good information, took some notes. Usually what I say if I'm on a call or something, note takers are money makers, but
like
reality, action takers are money makers. Right. So you want to take action of what you're doing. If not, then it's not going to be, go anywhere. It's kind of like a dream. You have your dream, but then you don't put it to action. So it's going to be forever a dream.
I do have one question. You mentioned something about like paying off a loan early.
Yes.
Did you say that's a back? Because I have a car note, and so my goal is to pay it off early. Mm-hmm. So, from my understanding, I think you said it's not a good thing to do.
Right. And it's based on your FICO score.
Okay.
So it's not going to increase your FICO score if you pay that off early. Okay. Now, when we're looking at it in terms of bringing more cash flow in your money and your pocket, then yes, because when I joined my learning community, I'm gonna give you a tip that we are taught. I adjusted my W-4s the right way because I have a home-based business.
Okay.
I was able to bring $200 back in my paycheck, and I put that extra $200 on my truck note and paid it off a year early.
Okay.
It didn't affect my credit score going down. It just makes it to where your FICO score is not going to increase.
Okay. So if I want my FICO score to increase, I need to pay it off with the terms that I agreed to. Is that what you said?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that information because I did not know that.
So did I miss it? I may have missed it. Is there a difference between the FICO score and the credit score?
It is.
Hey, can y'all go in the room? I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Yes, it is a difference because it's kind of like if you have a Credit Karma account, you know how the scores be, but then you could request, like for me, for example, I'm only talking about me. I request my credit scores with experience. So it's a slight score difference there. And then I compared it with my FICO score, and that's a difference. Mm-hmm. So I should have had that down, and I didn't think about it. I was just trying to think about the basic things. But yes, it is a difference. I can't pinpoint the exact difference, but I'll research and let you know about it. I have it in one of my books down here.
I'm trying to remember. I know, is it like a TransUnion?
It's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian.
Those
right.
And okay.
Those are the three credit bureaus, yes. And they use just like the regular credit scores, different thing, but your FICO score is what you can have when you have like a credit card or a mortgage loan or something like that. Okay. They will give you your FICO score, and your FICO score is different from the TransUnion, the Experian, and the Equifax.
Okay. Is it usually higher or lower? Your FICO score, is it usually higher or lower than what your credit score is?
Yeah, it can be higher depending on the credit bureau, because if you look at it, the three credit bureaus, theirs are different. those are different as well because, say for example, I go to Toyota and they run my credit. TransUnion and Experience may have it on there, but Equifax may not. So my
Okay.
Equifax might be higher than my TransUnion because I have a new report showing that my credit ring with them too, but not with Equifax.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why your scores look different on Credit Karma.
So when it comes down to buying a house or buying a car or anything like that, which score are we looking at? Which score are we wanting to
Then,
increase, the credit or the FICO?
well, with the FICO, with your FICO score is what you want to increase,
Okay.
and the type of loan that you get, and then you really have to know and research. Okay, when you buying a house, you're like, hey, are you looking at my FICO score, or are you looking at TransUnion, or are you looking at this? So you'll be able to know which one
What
you
they're
need to
looking at.
go. Yes.
I was told they look at the middle score. So I don't know if they take all three scores. I was told they look at the middle score for buying houses. I don't know when it comes to cars. I've never asked.
Mm-hmm. I have a lady that sells houses, and
Okay.
I would definitely have to ask her.
Okay, it's
I'm
okay.
not sure she knows, but I don't actually know. Even for myself,
they said they take the middle one, but I just don't know which one is the middle one. I'm guessing. I don't know, but I know I was told it was the middle, but I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, and I
know.
don't think it's not the. I don't think it's like the middle with the TransUnion Experience and Equifax.
Okay.
Because they're doing FICA.
Okay.
So they might have 3 different scores with FICA
that we
and average, and then take it in the middle of that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all your information. I definitely learned a lot tonight. Do you have any other questions, Anika?
Deandra, would you mind going over your what services you offer? Just plug yourself one time real quick, please.
Absolutely. Like I told you in the beginning, I'm a part of a learning community, which is called My Econ. It's a personal financial success company where basically we teach you how to eliminate debt, help you adjust your W-4 to bring more cash flow in your money, and help you with investments and build your credit up. I really like to focus on the credit part. That's what I've been focused on probably about the last year now.
Okay.
And as of right now, if you want to try to build your credit up and stuff with me, you can reach out to me, and the price of it is $49 one time, and then $34.95 a month. And it depends on what your score is at, where you want to be. You want to at least give it 6 months. It is other companies out there that, of course, is between 100 to 300 or 400, to start up, and then $89 a month. So I think what I offer is cheap and reasonable, and it has do-it-yourself and modules and letters, dispute letters, and things like that to help you in the process, and you'll get educated as well, so you can understand. Because I want you to be able to look at your credit report and read it and understand what's on there.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
And also, one last thing, I am having another event this month, the 24th of August, at Tacos for Life in North Little Rock at 5:30, and I'm going to be doing a credit repair event again to talk about credit and things like that. So if you guys want to come out, it's going to be on Eventbrite. I'm going to put it probably in the comments of this video. I put it in the comments, and that way you can go and get your ticket. It's a free event, no cost. And so it's pretty much kind of like this, telling what credit repair is about, giving you some basic information. And if you want to join to get your credit fixed, then that's when we'll go to the next step. And it's like, again, $49 one time, $34.95 a month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you said it's a free event?
Yes, it is.
Yay.
Yep. So come on, come out and see me. So, and you can, if you're scared to ask questions now, hey, that's okay. You can
Okay.
come out there and get those questions answered at Tacos for Life on August 24th.
Okay, thank you.
And you're welcome. And the event is so funny because I joined this, but it's my business partner Renita Terry, and
Uh-huh.
it's called Mom, and my girl Money, Mom, Money, and Me. I'm
Okay.
thinking about mommy,
Okay.
but that's what our event is. It's about single moms, even single dads that just teach you about finance and stuff
I
with
love
you and your kids and stuff. So it's kid friendly, so you don't have to look for no
it.
babysitter because we want to be able, yes, even if they're 2 and 4, to still hear about money
Right.
because our goal is to build generation wealth,
Right.
and that's a great way to do it. To have your kids involved.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What day is the 24th?
I don't know. Look at my calendar. Okay, that was the same event. You said you're working with your friend Renita. That's the same event. Or is that two different events you mentioned?
No, that's the same one. She
Okay,
won't.
good. It's a Saturday.
It's wait a minute. Is that the 24th? Yeah, I might. Hold on.
Okay.
That's another. That's another. Hold on. What? Oh, I'm on my phone.
You're all
Yeah.
right. I know
You
it's
know
so
what?
hard. I got my left
It's
my
so
phone.
hard
You're so
to
used to
just.
doing this.
Yes, yes. Let me put my calendar up. No, not the 24th. It's a Thursday night, the 22nd. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, that is a Thursday.
Yes,
That's
it's
fine.
a Thursday
Okay.
night
Okay.
at 5:30. We're gonna be somewhere else on the 24th, down in, I want to say Jonesboro. So we have another event on the 24th, Renita and I. So
Okay.
yeah, I got things happening, and my calendar not in front of me.
I understand that 100%.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies, for having me.
No problem. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
joining
joining.
us.
We really
And I thank
appreciate
you, Shanika, for joining, girl. Got your face.
it. Y'all, I have been cleaning vomit since 6:30 this morning. I'm
Oh.
exhausted. My 8-year-old, I don't know if he ate something or what, but he's the only one affected by it. So he's isolated right now.
Well, you looked beautiful last night.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I know the feeling.
I'm so proud of my girls, but I am exhausted. I am
Yeah.
exhausted. We are.
Good.
I'm gonna do a separate post for that, but we are recruiting for our next tour in August. So any girls between the ages of 11 and 17 that would like to be a part of Miss Teen Tours, I'll put the information in there.
Okay. I was just gonna ask what kind of what do they have to, be and do? 11 through 18.
11 through 18. That's it.
Okay.
Do community service projects, college tours. We meet once a week for about an hour and a half. We go over we have different lesson plans. The 4 components is education, culture, service, education, culture, and character. So we go over different lessons every week. They get points for everything that they do, coming to the meetings, participating in the meetings. There's homework assignments, coming to the different events. And then at the end of, we just have the accelerated tour, which is 3 months. But in August, we'll start not in August, in September, October. One of these months coming up, we start the 6-month tour. But at the end of the tour, we have a celebration night, which is, it's sort of similar to a pageant, but it's not your traditional pageant. So we call it celebration.
Okay.
And at the end of that celebration, all of the scores from the entire tour are tallied up, and we crown a queen and 2 princesses.
Oh.
So it's kind of freaking awesome.
Yeah. It looked awesome. Yes, that was definitely.
But I will put the information. I'll make a separate post for it. I know this was totally not related, but I'll make a separate post for it because I'm excited about it. So.
Yay!
But
what time is it? We have a few minutes left, so I don't know how to take her off. You're gonna have to do that. I don't really know.
I think DeAndre. No, we don't take her off.
Oh, okay. So when I think you exit yourself.
Okay.
It clicks off. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome, ladies.
Thank
Yeah, have a good evening.
Thank you too. Okay, so I did a little research. I got my computer on the side. Okay, so the middle score, let's say if you have a 700, a 690, and a 720, that 690 will be that middle score that they take. Okay, so I had to figure it. Yeah, because I was. I know, right?
I remember that.
And then FICO, I think FICO is like kind of an average of all three. I think, not 100% sure. Somebody knows, correct me. From what I'm reading, it looks like the FICO is the combination of the three scores. Like I said, this is not my profession, but from what I'm reading, that's what it looks like it is. Do you have anything else to add to credit repair tonight?
Credit repair is not my ministry. That's right up there with budgeting and saving. Well, saving, I can budget, but that's right up there with saving. It's not my ministry.
Okay.
So this is a learning experience for me. I don't have too much advice, suggestions, nothing, because I'm trying to learn because I don't know.
Okay. I'll talk a little bit about my personal experience. When I was younger, due to circumstances, not just I was irresponsible, I did have to use my credit cards, and I mean, like, almost maxed them out. And then I lost my job, so I couldn't pay them. So they did all go into collections. But after 7 years, a lot of stuff does fall off your credit report. So I did get lucky. They all fell off, and then I got a fresh start later on in my late 20s when I started being more responsible and wanted to purchase things and do things in my life. Like, let me check my credit score. So now, like, I check it almost every day. I get notifications on my phone. For my credit cards with Capital One, every time I swipe it, every time somebody pulls my credit, I get notifications on my phone from Credit Sesame, Credit Karma, Experian. Like, it goes, because I just recently applied for something, like, I mean, I'm getting notifications, boom, boom, back to back. So you need to be on top of that, because then we just had that, what was that, Equifax? What was the breach? What was breach? Breach. Data breach, and your credit and your personal information was, for some people, they would have notified you. It was compromised. I was one of those people.
I was too.
So I keep, if anything going, I know it's coming to my phone. So I definitely say, just create a Credit Karma account. It doesn't affect your score. Just know what your credit score looks like and look what's on there. Some stuff might not even be you. My friend, I was talking earlier, and she had a bill on her credit report from AT&T that wasn't even hers, and then had she not checked, she wouldn't have known. But she got that taken care of. So definitely be on top of it. When I first started building, I started with a secure credit card with Discover. Secure credit cards when you put your own money on the card. Okay, and I put like $300 on the card, and then I just use it responsibly. Then I started getting offers for more credit cards, and then I got more credit cards where they were not secured, which means the credit card company will give you a limit. Then they started low with like 500, and then as I kept showing that I was going to pay off my bills and try to keep your amount that you charge on your credit cards below, I believe it's 10%. And then it went from like 500 to thousands, for each credit card. So just when you're being careful with your credit, it really shows your personality and your spending habits. It paints a picture of you. Are you responsible? Are you irresponsible? Are you a risky person? And the more you show, okay, I can handle this credit, I'm responsible, you get more. And you get better interest rate. Like, you pay for having poor credit. You will pay with those cars. Even getting an apartment, like, y'all, this is my first apartment where I paid the minimum requirement. I always had to pay more because my credit was jacked up. They was like, oh, you got to pay this. I'm like, what? Me? I can like that. And I called my mentor and my friend, and I was so excited because I always have had to pay extra for that when life happened to me and I lost my job for a year. And I had to pay for that. Higher interest rates on cars, and now I'm to the point where I'm being responsible with my credit. And now I'm reaping the benefits of that now with lower interest rate, higher credit limits, and just not having to pay extra because my credit was so bad. So that's all I really have. Just be responsible. If you have bad credit, start with a secure credit card. I know Discover offers secure credit cards. Mr. Deandra said that you can go to your bank, which I didn't know you can go to your bank and get a
That's
secure
what
credit
I
card.
did.
I didn't know you could do that.
I bank with the credit union, and I went and luckily my banker is one of my church members. So he was talking to me and he pulled my credit up, and he was, to my surprise, he told me I didn't have any credit. Like, he told me I didn't have any lines of credit. And I was like, you lying, because it's stuff on my credit report. So how do I not have credit if it's stuff on my credit report? And he was like, well, you don't have any lines of credit. And I told him that my goal, I just turned 30 last year, and I told him my goal was to, I want to be buying my own house by the time I turn 32. By my 32nd birthday, I want to be in my home. And this was last year. I'm lying. This was like in March. My concept of time, y'all. He told me, he was like, well, we have this loan, I think it's a secure loan or whatever, where they create a separate savings account type situation, and the loan's for $750. And I pay like $35 a month on it. I don't have access to the $750. But I pay monthly on it, and they report to the credit bureaus monthly on the payment that I made. So, and I think it's for like is it 1 year, 2 years? It's either 1 or 2 years. But he was like, don't pay it off early. Even if you get a big lump sum, don't pay it off or whatever. You need at least 12 consecutive months of paying on time, paying in full on time. So I think I'm like 6 months into that now. So I'm freaking excited about that. And then I use Credit Karma. So I get the emails, constant emails about, now I'm getting the congratulations emails. Congratulations, your score has increased, even if it's by, 2 or 3 points. Credit Karma, they real dramatic about it. But it does, it does matter. I know Deandra was saying, I heard her, she was saying that, well, like up to $5.99 is bad credit or whatever. I'm still in the bad credit stage. Whatever.
Temporarily.
But it's temporary. Yes. And it's coming on up out of there. And I'm going to do better. I know I didn't have a credit card since I was 18 years old. I think my mama filled out for my first credit card because she just wanted to see if I could get one. And I got one, and I used it. I actually used it to pay for my graduation fees and my prom stuff. And then I paid it off. And what she told me was, just use it for emergencies. And that was my emergency at the time, because around graduation and prom, I had a 1-year-old. So if I wanted to go to prom, I had to pay for it myself. So that's what I used my credit card for. And then I paid it off, and then I cut up my credit card. Mama told me to cut my credit card up. And I think like 2 months after I cut it up, my first limit was, when I first got it, it was $250. And then about 2 months after I cut it up, they sent me another card in the mail and told me my limit had increased to like $800.
Yes.
Why they tell an 18-year-old that?
They will throw their money at you.
They will throw it at you, baby. And then I don't think I got another credit card till my late 20s. And I did the same thing. I used it. I maxed it out. It was probably about, I think that one was like $500. I maxed it out, and I finally paid it off, and I cut it up. And then I forgot about it. Honestly forgot about it. And then maybe about 3 months later, I got a letter in the mail. Congratulations, and they had increased my limit from 500 to like 12.
They will increase it if you don't use it.
I said the devil. But me being me, because I didn't have it at the time, I was excited, so I sweepity swipe, and now it's on my credit, and I'm trying to pay it off. But other than that,
yeah, you can also negotiate with them.
And see, I didn't know that.
I negotiated because when I first got married, man, we were so poor. Oh my God. And we had like a gas bill or something that we couldn't pay. And anyway, it ended up on my credit report because it was in my name. And I called them and I negotiated with them, and I paid like a very, very small amount. Anyway, and I think it's off my credit report. But anyway, I think it's off now. But yeah, you can negotiate. You can, but make sure you get it in writing first, because I knew a cousin of mine, who she negotiated on the phone. They said, okay, you make this payment, we'll take the bill down to X amount of dollars, and they didn't do it. So I told them, I said, send it to me first. And I was like, "You want to send the message?" Like, we can email. I said, "Cool. This is my email address." I said, "I'll stay on the phone with you, and once I get this email saying that we're gonna negotiate for $200 versus me paying $500, and then this is paid in full, then I was like, okay, I got my email. Here's my here's my debit card information or whatever I paid it with. I don't remember. I think it was debit card because I just got my tax return back, and I paid it off. So yeah." You can negotiate. You can write letters. You can do your research. You can Google and write letters and ask them to remove things. You can dispute it yourself if you have the time and you feel up to it. If not, you can pay someone to dispute it for you. That's totally up to you.
I dispute all mine on my own.
See,
I go every year at the beginning of the year. I go into because I think you can request your report
yeah,
once
and
a year for free.
You put that the
And I go through every single bureau and I dispute everything, whether I know it's mine or not. I dispute it. And that's actually gotten a lot of stuff taken off my credit, and I keep at it every year. I do it. I try to do it at the beginning of the year, that way I don't forget. But you can request your credit report, and I just
practice.
I spend about 2 days because it takes forever. Because you got to go through every single thing, and it goes back, 7 to 10 years or something like that. So it takes me about 2 days for all 3 credit bureaus. But I go through and I rebuke.
Don't be repeating what you're doing, Nika.
I rebuke it.
Put your hands on yourself because you did that. Nika did it. Rebuke Nika. I got some oil back there. We're going to pray after
I
this.
dispute it.
In the name of Jesus.
I dispute it. Oh, my scarf is falling. I dispute everything. But, dang it, Deandra, I wanted to talk about bankruptcies. That is what I wanted to discuss. And I could not think of what it was. But it was bankruptcies. But then I just saw your little thing, your comment about adding rent to your credit report. I need to be a part of that, because if I don't pay nothing else, I'm gonna pay my rent, and I pay my rent on time. So I need that to reflect on my credit report so that I can get out of this bad credit stage and get up here to the. Is it bad and then poor? Like,
I don't know.
Or is it poor then bad?
I don't know.
Either way, I need to be above this $5.99. I need at least a 6. I need at least a 6 because I got goals. I got stuff I'm trying to do. I don't know. I'm still in the middle of my. I'm still in the process of my success story when it comes to my credit. I can tell you all the bad things, but I still haven't gotten to the success portion of it. But I believe that it can be done. And Deandra, do you do free consultations? Are your consultations free for your credit stuff? Because
so yes, you can call me about the bankruptcy. Oh, she mentioned the bankruptcy. That was the first question you had.
Okay, because I want to, like I was just gonna say, I know I don't have the extra money to pay a fee. What you said your fee was 30 something, 40 something. I'm like, I don't have that monthly. But then
she does do free consultations.
But then I remembered you had just said that we all have extra money. We just don't know.
We do. You'd
how
be
to
surprised
access
till you budget it. You'd be surprised.
I have budgeted my sanity away, so I don't think I can budget any more. So I will definitely be setting up a consultation with you, because I like free. So I'm gonna see what I can find out in this free.
And it really helps, like, if you have I do this for my friends and my family. If you have a trusted friend, a family member, if you have somebody else look at it, because you're going to feel like, oh, I need this. But if you have me look at it, that ain't you don't need that, nigga. You don't need to eat there. I'm serious. You'd be surprised. I was talking to somebody like, you don't have to have this. I don't even have cable. You don't have to have this extra bill. Like, a lot of times people, you think you need it, but you don't. So even if you can't afford to pay somebody at the moment, if you have a friend that has a good credit, or a family member, hey, would you sit down? Would you look at my budget? I had my mentor look at my budget, and she helped me out, and I've been passing it along and helping people, just sitting and looking at their budget. So you'd be surprised. But sometimes, like, you don't. I've been in a place where I did not. I didn't have no free money. I was trying to make an arrangement to pay this, and then go back and pay that, and make an arrangement on that. I've been there. Sometimes you just really can't. But sometimes you do have extra money and you don't know it because you feel like you need it. But if you have somebody else to put eyes on it, they can probably find some extra money.
All right, ladies.
You don't take up too much
That's
more of
all
your
I got.
time. If you have questions, you can post them and ask them. But I don't have anything else to add for tonight.
All right. Well, again, Miss Deandra, we thank you so much for coming on and educating us this evening. Um, sorry for my tardiness,
Girl, you're taking
and
the
I'm about to
baby.
leave again because my baby's still at the house. He's running a fever. So
Would you talk a little bit about our event that we have coming up on the 17th? I think we should talk about that every time we're on.
17. This is the final segment of the. You got Facebook pulled up over there. What's the name of the manifesting our millionaire mindset? What is it? What did I say it was?
I think that's it.
Manifesting a millionaire mindset
Thank
for
you,
yourself,
Miss Sandra.
or something like that.
Um,
That series. It will be concluding on the 17th. That is on a Saturday. We will be meeting at Sue Calvin Williams Library from 10:30 until noon, 10 until 12:30.
is that one was just an hour?
No, I reserved it for the whole
I know you reserved it for the whole time. I thought the thing was
I mean,
just there for an hour.
The class itself shouldn't take no more than
Yeah,
an
it's
hour.
an hour, but you can feel free to hang out with us.
I mean, we're at the library.
Did we set a time for it?
I think we have the room set from 10 to 12:30. I want to say is what it is. 10 to
My
12:30.
computer's moving slow.
At the Sue Calvin Williams Library on 17th Street off of Chester. And you have a low battery.
Sorry.
Of Chester from 10 to 12:30. We will have light refreshments.
Okay.
And we have a couple of door prizes for you mommies. Feel free to bring your children. I mean, it's at a public library. We're asking that if you have smaller babies, I don't want to ask not to bring your babies, but I mean, we have a very limited space in the room. I think it only holds like 40 to 45 people, and we don't want the majority of that capacity to be filled with our children. And then it becomes distracting, especially with all the information that we'll be getting from Miss Marian Opara. She's a real estate agent. She spoke with us a couple weeks ago about the life insurance. And then she will be bringing one of her colleagues along with her who is...
I believe he's a loan officer?
He's a loan officer. I'm not sure what bank he's with, but I do know he's a loan officer. So they will be educating us on home ownership, buying homes. If you have older children that don't mind looking after the smaller children, please bring them. I mean, we can't pay them in cash, but we can pay them in love and appreciation.
And cookies.
And cookies. And cookies. There will be cookies. Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's Saturday the 17th from 10 to 12:30 at Sue Calvin Williams Library.
And where is
They
events?
can right there.
Yeah,
The children can go into the actual library portion, where I'm sure they will be entertained. He's with Regions. Okay, so we have a loan officer with Regions Bank.
I think his name is Dion. Is it Dion or Leon? Correct me if I said that wrong. But the name of it is Nothing Better Than Mom. And what's your thing? I know you got an acronym for it.
Y'all know I love my acronyms, right?
Because she be posting, I'm like, take it a bit more. What's she talking about? And I clearly
See, because you gotta read it. You gotta read it.
I'm like, oh.
Nothing better than mom, my own mortgage. So nothing better than
Where is
my
it
own
at?
mortgage. It should be.
Okay, see, it didn't come right up. See, and yeah, I'm like, what? Okay,
There's a 40
my
person
own,
capacity.
my own mortgage. Okay,
Nothing better than my own mortgage, and that is what I'm trying to get to. That is my goal in life, and I believe with the help of Miss Deandra and Miss Marian and my banker at the credit union, I am going to get it done, honey. And you all will be invited to my housewarming party when I get my house.
But we don't want you to not come if you just can't find a babysitter. We'll make it work.
Right.
I'm gonna find one for mine. 'Cause if you see when I was by myself how they were just in here, so Mom, I'm gonna need you to babysit. If you want to come, Mom, I'll find another babysitter.
It is a free event. It is a no obligations event. We're not asking you to sign up for anything, or
His
you
name is
know,
Dion Davis. Thank you, Miriam.
we're not asking you to, commit to anything. Just coming out and getting the education. It's the free education.
No pressure.
Letting you know everything that you need. We're trying to connect to resources
Yes.
out here. If you have any other resources that you feel that we should know of, to help promote them, let us know, please. We're taking all the connections that we can get,
Yes.
all the networking that we can get.
That's all I
I
have.
don't think we have anything for next week. I didn't think about that, so we may just
We may have to.
we may take a,
pop up. You want to take a break, or you want to do a pop up top? We'll let y'all know by Wednesday. Let
by
y'all
Wednesday.
know by
We'll let you know,
Wednesday.
depending on how I feel. If I can think of something.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
know yet.
We'll let y'all know. All right. Thank you, mommies.
Thank you, mommies.
We
We hope
love
you
you
have
for
a
watching.
wonderful, wonderful evening and a very safe and blessed weekend. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Bye. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Angela. I just saw y'all come on. Hey, y'all have a good weekend. We love y'all.